everybody, Mythal Dragoon here, and today we are going to continue with our Suchomimus gameplay. But today, I'm going to show you why even on modded servers, these official dinosaurs are no joke. So, one second here. The build we're going to be running today is a controversial one. It is the Aquatic build. And a lot of people really don't like Aquatic Sucho. Well, they didn't until the new map got added. And I am of the opinion that right now, because of how much the aquatic play comes into play on this new map, that this build is actually a sleeper. Like, this is very effective. Because now you're in the water a lot more. So we're running hooked snap instead of standard bite. Basically, every time you catch a fish, it's going to give you a charge to your hook snap. Now, you can use it without catching fish. It'll do 50 damage just by itself. But for every stack of hooked snap, it'll be bumped up to 75 damage. To put that into comparison, the standard bite attack only does 40 damage, and its gimmick is that you can get more damage out of the standard bite, but it's conditional. If you are dry, you get 15% more damage, which will bump it up to 46% damage. And if you and the enemy are dry, then it goes up to 52 for a standard bite. But hooked snap is unconditional, always going to deal 50 damage baseline. And considering we are going to be catching a lot of fish, 75 damage is really good for a standard bite. Mind you, this only has a 3-second cooldown, so you're still going to be using this quite a bit when combined with your other attacks. We're also going to be running Riptide, which Riptide is great because we're pretty much always going to be wet, which will get that extra 10%. Meaning if the entire attack hits, and usually it will on a bigger target, we're going to always be dealing 92 damage. But if we're in the water, if we're fighting something in the water, we're dealing 100 total damage. Or 108, depending on where we hit, like if we get headshots. We're going to run strong lungs so that while we're underwater, we have way more oxygen, which will be great in case we run into Sarcos, because as returning viewers know, I love running Asphyxiating Snap. I think it's one of the most secretly OP abilities right now, and this kind of gives us protection against that. Plus, we'll get stamina faster by being in the water, which is fantastic. We're going to run Backhand. I think this is still the best attack for Suchomimus' claws. Standard claw attack has the same gimmick as the standard bite, where it kind of wants you to be on land. This one is interesting. I have not used Claw Barrage. I know it does a lot of damage, and it also has that 3-second cooldown, but the backhand option is still better. Something is... There's a salamander. Interesting. Backhand deals a lot of knockback, and I think that knockback always is great. And it also has, like, no cooldown. Running a normal tail attack. Again, low damage and knockback. Just very great get off me tool. And then we are also running Waterlogged, which will give us way more swimming speed. We'll dry out slower so we can stay wet, which is, again, just good for this build and for this new map. Anything latching onto us or clamping us if we were smaller is going to have a harder time doing that. And based on our wetness amount, we become heavier, which combat weight is very essential in this game. Braced legs for Suchomimus is locked to being dry, which really stinks. Otherwise, I would always be running this. but we're going to run strong legs, so we're going to take a lot less knockback from other things, and this is where I think this is now very, very good to run on Suchomimus because of the water build, is you get fracture healing, which is going to help when you're combating Tylosaurus players or some of these other modded creatures that use a lot of fracture. And then Muffled Roar just lets us swim faster, gives us more swim turning, and we're going to heal our status effects even faster while underwater. You can only use it while underwater, though, and if you get out of water, it's going to deactivate. So this is the build. We are running the Snakehead skin, because I really like the camo that this provides, and I think it looks very good. So anyways, let's begin. I don't really know where to go. We're in a good location. This stupid salamander is getting on my nerves, though. I may hunt him. Now, what makes modded servers even more of a challenge than officials is that they also bump the size up a lot of these servers for the critters and increase the critter spawn rate. So people who watch my content know how much I despise critters in this game, and I think it's a universal hatred. I think as a whole, critters are just extremely unbalanced and downright unfair in some scenarios. I think that they need to have their pathing tweaked significantly for, like, what they're able to do in terms of always being fixed on the player. And I mean, there's some critters that can just run up a flat 90-degree incline, like I'm trying to remember what its name is. It's a dinosaur. It's a, for anybody who's seen Jurassic Park and you know what a Gallimimus is, the ones that in the first movie had the big stampede and then the T-Rex comes out of the trees and just mauls one of them. It looks like that. It is not a Gallimimus, I know that much, but it looks like that. And it is the most annoying critter by far, especially if one shows up as an albino, because albino critters, even though they got nerfed, they are still a great source of marks early on. This guy is getting on my nerves, spam calling me. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna get you, little buddy. You're gonna be my food. I'm gonna eat you. Come here. Yeah, come on. Let's go. Ruining my train of thought here. You little bugger, you. Rawr, 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 rawr. Come on. Urgh. He wants the smoke, too. That's why he's spam calling. This is the one issue. I mean, this isn't even an issue tied to mods. This is just as a whole. You will find players that love to troll in this game. Now, I'm obviously trying to make this a bit more engaging, and that's why I'm getting quote-unquote frustrated. Just don't even let these players get to you. Like, because at the end of the day, look at it. He knows he's a chicken. He knows it. He knows he will lose this fight if he actually gets hit. So he's just abusing his little speed, and eventually he will slip up. I'm not losing stamina because of this build, which is why I say this is like prime example of why the water build for Suchomimus now is genuinely super effective. Granted, this little guy is not going to do a lot of damage to me as is anyways, because he is so small compared to me. Over time, though, that damage will add up, especially the bleed. Oh, see, I'm so close to being able to hit him. If I just get one Riptide off on him, this guy is toast. I fully believe that. But yeah, he's just trolling. I believe that's a Diplocalus, which is a modded dinosaur. This dinosaur is not in officials. And as you can see, they are quite good. Only because they are so small and fast. Oh, you little bugger, ya! Come on. Eventually, I'm gonna get a hit off. And then you're gonna regret all of this. You know what? He's probably having a blast doing what he's doing. Like, honestly, I can't even condemn his actions here. Because there is something to be said about playing as these smaller, underpowered creatures. And just trying to, infuriate us normal individuals. But I am going to disengage, because this fight is going on for far too long, and it's going nowhere. Like, this little imp is not killing me. I'm not killing him, and I'm not going to waste any more time in this video entertaining trolling shenanigans. If he wants to come on land, which would be a mistake, and he knows it, which is why he's not doing it, by all means. I, on the other hand, am going to just walk across, get over here, hopefully not run into this little goober again. That's a critter. I'm not gonna... And hopefully we find something that's actually more of a proper... You little bugger, you are still on me! Yeah, he's not gonna let us go. So we have both a companion, but it's more of like a parasite with us now. But we are going to ignore him to the best of our ability. I forget what I was talking about moments ago. I had a... I believe it was about critters. But that totally took my train of thought, because I was trying to lock in there, and didn't play out. I'm gonna go up here, because I know there's a little freshwater lake. We're gonna stock up on our water, and hopefully find some fish when we go back to the normal water, which that little goober should not be following us at this point, I would hope. And then hopefully we find something that is far more worth it in terms of combat. To emphasize my point, I know obviously when you play on modded servers, people tend to obviously want to play the modded creatures, and that is completely fine, and it's honestly what the modded servers are for. I'm going to be doing it more often because I think that there's more potential for me to showcase some cool stuff, and because I've heard a lot of the unfortunate standings with the modding community for this game, and how some of the creators have been, like, really mistreated, and I despise that. If me playing this can get any amount of positivity drawn towards some of these modded creatures when I do play them, because of how much effort goes into it to, like, making stuff for this game, and mods honestly are keeping this game alive, whether people want to admit that or not, because the official stuff, while great, it's not quite enough. I think a majority of the player base is in these modded servers. So, yeah, I think we should be treating our mod creators with a lot more respect than they are given. And I say this while I'm playing an official dinosaur, but yeah. But to the point, I don't think that official dinosaurs are in any way, shape, or form bad or worse than modded dinosaurs. I think that you can be completely effective with both in any setting. Trying to catch this stinking carp. There we go. I'm gonna catch these fish here. So see, now I have 2 stacks of hooked snap. So the next 2 hooked snap bites I land, make that 4, are going to deal, I believe it was 75 damage, which is just so good. On officials, this is insane. But even on modded, you deal damage numbers like that, like even modded creatures are going to have a hard time. I almost thought that that was a Sarcosuchus or one of the modded crocs like Dinosaurs, but that is just a big critter. And that is where sometimes these modded servers with the habit of making critters just massive can make things a little bit more interesting, because I've seen snakes that are just Jormungandr in the redwoods playing on modded before, like crazy giant critters. Absolute kaiju, if you will. And it definitely is something that is really funny. It's probably the only way I will tolerate critters is if we just go all the way with it and make them raid bosses, because that's pretty much what they already are. They are so stupidly oppressive as is when they're small, but at least when you supersize them, it makes it easier to hit half of them. Now, one thing I will note, as you can tell, Suchomimus is a lot louder when swimming compared to Sarcosuchus and even Tylosaurus. And that is intentional, because those 2 creatures have built-in abilities that make them silent swimmers because they are built for the ambush playstyle. Suchomimus is not, so he makes a lot of noise when he swims. So doing what I'm doing right now probably isn't the most advisable thing, to just sprint swim everywhere. But even not sprinting, as you can see, he makes a lot of noise. So you're not, unless you're like really creeping like this, which obviously is super slow, you're not going to be sneaking up on anybody all that often in the water. It's possible. I've shown it before. One of my shorts that blew up, to my surprise, was exactly that, of me on Gondwa, sneaking up on a Hats that was getting water and showing off why backhand and this build are good even on those servers if you play it right. Because I sent them into the water with backhand, which prevented them from getting to shore, and then I just minced them with the snippy snaps. And there was just nothing they could do. It was game over. Gotta focus on my oxygen. See how I almost neglected my oxygen gauge and let it run out because I was busy trying to figure out what to say to explain some game mechanics. Now put that into the middle of a fight, and you have Sarcosuchus just bam, asphyxiating snap, bam, asphyxiating snap. And you can see why it absolutely can become a nightmare if you use that ability right. Oh, we've got a lot of stacks of our, I don't know why these pike ain't moving. Oh, that one's just dead. I don't know how he died, because I did not land a bite on him, but... Oh! This is actually... So, another thing. When you eat certain fish, and this is why Hooked Snap also has an additional benefit of making you consciously think about getting fish, you get extra buffs for a certain amount of time. So because I ate that pike, I have 20% increased stamina recovery. And people don't even think about that. Like, this is a core mechanic of the game, and another reason why semi-aquatics are so dang effective, because whereas aquatics can get those buffs, they're stuck to the oceans. Semis can get those fish buffs and then take them on land, which is just super, super good. And when you're using Hooked Snap, it encourages you to catch more fish for that extra damage, which is going to, in turn, also help you to get more of those fish buffs. Now, they usually only last 10 minutes, but 10 minutes is that's a pretty fair amount of time, to be honest. But certain fish give you different buffs. So the pikes tend to give you stamina recovery and like movement speed based things. Bass, I don't think give you anything because they're not big enough. But this catfish, if I eat him, because you want to get like mid-size fish, he does. He gives a separate buff, and he gives bleed and health increased. So I get 20% increased bleed healing and 20% increased health recovery. There's a Shonisaurus. This is perfect. Let's fight the big fish. So this guy is using a Shonisaurus, which is a massive modded creature. And yeah, he's going to be quite faster than us. He's quite big. We could lose this fight. That is a very large animal. And he deals quite a bit of damage because his combat weight is significantly bigger than ours. But we can keep him at bay with our backhand and our tail swipe, and we can land these hook snaps and mince him up. No, you're not getting away. You're not getting away. Because this is going to be the finale to this video. A proper fight. Get back here. Get back here. Where do you think you're going? Come back and face me! The fact that we made an animal, a player, using a creature this large run with this build, and that's a modded creature, kind of showcases my point. We might lose. He's low on health too, though. Ah, we won! Look at that. And that is exactly my point and reasoning as to why I think that Aquatic Sucho build is so slept on right now. I still died from the bleed. But we won. We won the confrontation, and that is exactly my point. Now, if we were on officials, that fight would have gone even quicker, because that was a modded dinosaur with a crud ton of health, way more combat weight, way more defense, and we still won. We still won. Now, if that was on officials, and we were fighting a Tylosaurus, which is the biggest aquatic in official playables, I have no doubt we would win. Like, the aquatic build on Suchomimus is so effective, and not enough people use it. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. A bit on the shorter side, but I have some other video ideas planned for today. So stay tuned. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment if you want to see more, and I will see you all in the next video. God bless.